Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today will be a special video as we showcase the Batcycle vehicle from McFarlane's DC Multiverse Flash line. Alright, so very big box, as you can see right here. The Batcycle looks incredible. I want to say the box is about maybe the same size, or roughly around the same size as previous motorcycles we've gotten in the past. On the back, very comic book inspired illustration of Batman atop the Batcycle. And let's get started. Just to warn you in advance, I'm kind of losing my voice, so at any minute my voice just might go out. So it's a real struggle to speak right now, so I'm not sure how in-depth this review will be. At the very least, we'll take this out and hopefully get Batman seated on top of the Batcycle. Alright, so this thing is a beast. It's it's really large. Alright, there's a couple of zip ties holding this down. Let's see if we can get those off first. Alright, that comes off pretty easy. I want to say this is about maybe roughly the same size as the Sean Gordon Murphy designed Batcycle from the White Knight series of comic books from DC's Black Label line, if you're familiar with the comics. And don't forget, you get your trading card in the back, so don't throw that out. Alright, so this is a beast of a vehicle. It's incredibly large. I love the axle-less design of the back wheel. It looks really cool how it's kind of like hollowed out. Almost looks like it's floating. There's two wheels in the front. And if you notice, there's kind of like some weathering underneath. I think it's almost unnecessary because you don't really see it, so I think it's kind of a waste. If you're a customizer, this thing it would be a dream to repaint and customize. Just because it looks like the disassembly is pretty easy. It looks like there's a couple of screws holding it in place. Size-wise, this thing comes in at about probably 12 1/4, 12 1/2 inches. So it's quite the sized. It's quite the largely sized vehicle. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. You know, for the Flash line, McFarlane's giving us 3 vehicles. They gave us the Batcycle, they're giving us the '89 Batmobile, and the new Batwing. So it's it's crazy for a 1/10 7-inch scale action figure line that we're getting 3 large vehicles for it. It looks, man, it's crazy. I'm kind of at a loss of words. I'm too busy just looking at this. The detailing is nice. You know, here's the guns up front. There's some vents. It would have been nice if these were actually drilled out. If you're a customizer, again, you could probably drill those out yourself. Here's the handlebars and the brake levers. Do they move? No, it doesn't really move. It's kind of a 2 shades of gray. You have a darker gray on top. The body's a lighter gray. And then the rest is kind of like black. Here's a front view. side. There's definitely some weight to this also. And just for the hell of it, here is Spin Master's take on the Batcycle. So keep in mind, this is for the 4-inch scale action figures put out by Spin Master. They look almost identical in their design. You know, I think for the most part, this one might be a little bit more detailed, but it seems like the smaller one hits all the landmarks. Alright, so what we're here for, we're going to see if we can get Batman on top of the Batcycle. And here we have the Ben Affleck Batman from the McFarlane line. Beautiful action figure. I pointed this out in my video review, but for my figure, it might be an error, but they forgot to paint the eyes. So this looks kind of weird. Here's a size comparison. Let's get into focus. You can see some considerably a lot larger vehicle. And let's see if we can get Batman to actually be seated. So the Ben Affleck Batman actually comes with 2 pairs of hands. The stock hands already opened up, so it looks like they're made to accommodate the handlebars and the grips. And other hands are, I think, this closed fists. So I'm going to see if I can get them in a seated position. The thing with McFarlane figures is that even though they have like multiple points of articulation, trying to get them in that sweet spot in their posing could be somewhat difficult. And let's see if we could get him to straddle the bike properly. My biggest concern is that how far we could get his hips apart, because, you know, the material here is kind of restrictive. So, and then we might have to adjust the ankles also so they're a little bit more forward. The nice thing with this figure is that his head actually looks up. So at least you can see him on the motorcycle and you can look forward. Alright, so the issue I'm running into right now is that his hands, they're not the softest material. So I'd probably advise to heat the hands up in like hot water just so you can pry the fingers apart, because my issue is right now I'm having difficulty trying to pry the fingers apart to get it around the handlebar. But for now, I think I might just leave it be. I just want to see if I can get him actually in the correct pose. And I think for the most part, it seems like you should be able to. It'd be nice if they slimmed down the seat. I kind of feel like it's a little bit too wide. And it doesn't really, he doesn't really straddle it all that well. But for the most part, you know, I think it's a decent... it's decent in terms of articulation. It's not perfect by any means, but you could get them on there. And I think once you get the hands situated, it'll be okay. Like I pointed out, my fingers are hard to pry apart right now. And I think I would have difficulty trying to wrap it around the handlebar and the grip. And I don't want to accidentally break anything. Maybe I can get at least one hand on there. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do that. If I could get one hand on there, I think I'd be happy. Let's see if I can pry the fingers apart. Like I said, they're kind of like, it's a very rigid material. Alright, I got one hand on. I think that's all I really want. If I get one hand on here, give us an idea of how well he's seated on here. Yeah, it's really decent. I think it's pretty cool. I would have dug it if this Batcycle came with maybe like some sort of display stand, just so you could like a dynamic display stand. So maybe you could like pose it so it looks like he's banking left or right. I'm imagining more serious collectors might find a way to remove the cloth cape and probably replace it with a third-party cape that comes with a wire. Because as nice as it is, it's unfortunate that the cape, you know, once it's draped down, it's going to cover, you know, the back of the vehicle. If you had a wired cape, it'd be cool because then you could kind of pose it and still display the whole vehicle and still see, you know, the rear fender and the seat and the back wheel. But overall, it looks great. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. I think it retails anywhere between I want to say, I think it's either $29, not 39. 39 seems too much. I can't remember how much I paid for it. Either way, I think it's worth the money. It's really cool. I'm sure once you see the movie, you know, you'll go nuts and you'll want this. And the Batman figure looks just great on here. It looks fantastic. So yeah, I think it's well worth the purchase. I'm really stoked on this. And if this is out of your price range, you know, you can always opt for the cheaper, smaller Spin Master vehicle. And, you know, it's not in the same level as the McFarlane one, but it's still really nice. So, you have options. Alright, so let's wrap this one up. Great toy. On a scale of 1 to 10, for me, an easy 8.5 to a 9. I think it's awesome. And I think there's so much potential here, especially if you're a customizer. You can really, like, go to town on this and make it look beautiful. So let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.